हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Pranamam to all blessed souls. Isavasyopanidam sarvam. The whole universe is permeated by God. God is the controller. By that controller, it, by that governor, by that regulator, it, the whole universe is enwrapped. Why is he the supreme power? Because it is from that supreme power that everything that is in this universe has taken origin. As another Upanishadic mantra says, Yato va imani bhutani jayante, from which all the things here, all these things which are combinations of elements, all these things have come from that source. From which source? All these have come. Yena va jatani jivanti, and by which all this is sustained, by which all these exist. That yat prayanti abhisamvishanti, entering which all these things finally meet with their dissolution, merging into which all these things disappear. That power is the supreme power, and he is the controller, and he pervades everything because we have come from that power. We have come from that source. Everything that we see around, they have 5 aspects. They have 5 things. One is existence. Next is consciousness. Then bliss. These are the basic things. And they are actually veiled by Maya. They are veiled by names and forms. Once we remove this veil, then what is left behind is just existence, consciousness and bliss. And when the names and forms are removed, what remains is an undifferentiated oneness. That is Brahman. Isavasyopanidam sarvam, that is the view of the universe. That is the view that we should be having about this universe, about the cosmos, everything that we see around. Yat kincha jagatyam jagat. After having this kind of a cosmic vision, we go into each and everything. There also, we confirm it to ourselves that everything is permeated by God. Yat kincha jagatyam jagat. In this universe, anything that is found moving or undergoing change, we look at the animate and inanimate things and do understand that everything here undergoes a change. Everything that has been created, they are created, they are born, exist, grow, flourish, undergo changes, and then deteriorate. Finally, they attain dissolution. Yat kinja jagatyam jagat. Jagatyam, in this universe, jagat, whatever is there by way of things moving, things growing, things disappearing. The word jagat has come from the word gachati, moving, going. Everything in this universe is subjected to this kind of emotion. All that is permeated by God. Yat kinja jagatyam jagat, tena tyaktena bhunjitha. When we come to that realization, then we don't feel like owning anything for us. We are free to renounce everything. Generally, people are attached to three things. But putreshana, the desire to have children, progeny, so that they retain the wealth that we have made. They perpetuate the reputation that we have made. Putreshana, the desire for children. And then vitteshana, amassing more and more wealth. It could be physical wealth, bank balance, land, buildings. It could also be reputation. It could also be the goodwill of others. Vitteshana, the desire for wealth. And then lokeshana. Sometimes, even when we are not enamored of things around us, we hanker after other worlds, heaven, this world, and the higher worlds. Even that we have to give up, because in the context of understanding that everything is pervaded by Brahman, there is no differentiation. I am the Jagat. Jagat is God. God is me. There is no difference. When there is no difference, there is no question of fear, there is no question of covetousness, there is no question of greed. All these things come when there are two things or more. When there is only one thing, nothing affects us. We don't hanker after anything. We don't reject anything. We remain blissful, blessed, in self-abidance. We have everything, and we identify ourselves with the Brahman. Tena tyaktena bhunjitha. Tena tyaktena. Through renunciation, since everything is permeated, everything is swathed in God, with renunciation, with this view of the undifferentiated whole, bhunjitha, palayetha, protect yourself. Now we identify ourselves with when we say self, that self starts with small s. We identify ourselves with the body, mind, intellect, and so on. Now with this view, with this cosmic view, we will be able to protect our small self in such a manner that the small self disappears and the big self emerges, which is already there, but then the veils are removed and we understand that we are the big self. So this small transformation from the small self starting with a small letter, transformation into that self where the S is a big letter, capital letter S. That is what is meant by protection. We have to protect ourselves with this feeling. When we do that, ma krita kasya swithanam, we don't hanker after anyone's wealth. Kasya swit dhanam, all the wealth that we see around us. Again, let us reconfirm that by wealth, what we mean is all that we consider as desirable. Bank balance, huge tracts of lands for ourselves, and then great position in the mundane world, reputation. Kasya swit dhanam. Now that is dhanam. Even when we take it in the ordinary sense of gold, land, and so on, whose is it anyway? Whose is that wealth that we should be craving for it? We should feel greedy for it. Whose is it anyway? Whether it is one's own or somebody else's, where is the question of covetousness? Everything is God. Everything is God. When we say that, the Acharyas have been giving us the example of earthen pots, gold ornaments. Imagine there is a big gold bar of say 5 or 10 kilograms. We take bits of it and then convert it into necklaces, garlands, rings, ear ornaments, and so on. Once it is converted, we give it a name. This is a garland. This is a earring. But that is only gold. But we don't, in our mundane activities, in our ordinary transactions, we don't recognize that it is one and the same thing. Though we know the value of it, we want to buy a ring, we go to a gold shop, a jewelry shop, then we are not satisfied by getting a garland. No, we give importance to the name and the form. But once the name and form is removed, it is just a gold. Similarly, the same is applicable to earthen pots. Earthen pots, a big, huge pile of mud is there. And then we make pots. It is kept for drying. Suddenly, rain comes. Everything is converted into mud. Again we build. Again we make pots. From the state of mud, we move to the position where we are surrounded by a large number of earthen pots. Again rain comes, it's converted, so it's interchangeable. These are only examples. By this we will not be able to fully explain what is Brahman because it is inexplicable. When we speak about gold ornaments and all that, there is a problem with the example because if there are 5 kilos or kilograms of gold and we take away something, that 5 kilogram will not be there. It will be only in the shape of it will acquire forms and names. Now, see, we take away 3 kilograms, only 2 is left there, rest is with forms and names. That is not the case with Brahman. We try to give examples only to understand. We cannot equate it. It is not identical in situation. We can only say it is similar. We give the example of gold, earthen pots and say similarly. Not identically with that, because Brahman is incomparable, unparalleled. Whoever will be able to give examples of what exactly is Brahman? Nobody. We can only give small things so that we gain clarity in understanding this non-understandable, ununderstandable, inexplicable state called Brahman.